Okay, so this video is just talking about our vacation trip to New York and some of the things that we experienced, the culture shock, that trip. It was a very, 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 very different environment than what I'm used to and what my fiance is used to. We're both from Memphis, so we're both from... Okay, so first, I picked New York. We went to Miami for my birthday back in July. I think I picked Miami too, but I wanted to go somewhere that I've always wanted to go, always heard so much about, so I chose New York. It was to the hotel. We get to the hotel, it's beautiful, the people are so nice. I kid you not, our hotel room was our staircase is probably bigger than what our hotel room was. Okay. So the first night there, we went to the Rockefeller Center. He planned out the whole entire night. It was really nice, really beautiful. So I didn't know. Everyone told me, but I'm kind of hard-headed. I like to figure things out on my own. So I didn't know how much walking would actually be taking place in New York City. But our first night there, we dressed up. Okay. The first night there, we dressed up really fancy, looked really nice, really cute. I had on probably some 6 or 7 inch heels between 2 to 4 hours across New York. And I had on these heels. They were new, so I didn't break them in. This was my first time wearing them. My dress was tight, but it was hard way. So we get to the Rockefeller Center. We're going through all these security stuff and all of that. And we finally make it to the top of the rock. Beautiful view. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And so my fiance hired a photographer. And we were just at the top of the rock taking pictures. And then that's when he proposed to me. It was absolutely beautiful. So yeah, so that was the first night. But let me back up. So when we get to the hotel, we're starving. I mean, absolutely starving. So the hotel actually had a restaurant downstairs. So we went to the downstairs restaurant, looking at the menu. Everything's like $30, $40, $50, like $50 for a piece of lettuce. I'm like, okay. So I'm like, well, I want some chicken. I just want some chicken. You can never go wrong with chicken. They didn't have chicken. So, no, actually they did have chicken, not the chicken I wanted. So I asked the waiter, I'm like, what do you guys season your chicken with? And he was like, salt and pepper. I'm like, so do you use nature seasoning, lemon pepper? Are you just putting salt and pepper on this chicken? Apparently, salt and pepper is how you season chicken. Very disappointed, extremely disappointed, because I needed some for real seasoned chicken. I put the chicken in the sink, season the front, season the back, throw it in some flour. You know, I wanted some real chicken. So I think I ended up just getting some meatballs, and I think he had probably a burger. It was all nasty, but whatever. People in New York are very, very, very how can I say this in a nice way? They're not like us Southerners. You know, the whole Southern hospitality thing, that's the real thing. Everything in New York is so fast paced. So nobody has time to say, excuse me, I'm sorry, you know, how are you? No one has time for that. It's like 8 million people in that one city, so there's no time. You know, if you bump into somebody or if your elbow hits somebody in the face, you don't have time to say, excuse me. You don't have time to say, I'm sorry, because everything moves so fast. We went into Chick-fil-A. The line was literally outside of the door. I mean, outside of the door. They had us in and out within like 5 minutes. Order taken, food right, and everything within 5 minutes. So they're used to that fast-paced environment. Me, I'm not used to that. Like, if you bump into me, I'm gonna need you to say excuse me or I'm sorry or something, because that's just what I'm used to. And if you are from Memphis, then you know that stuff like that is what can get you shot. So it's just like, I guess it's what I'm used to, that's what they're used to, and it was a really big culture shock. Okay, so I had to get some lip gloss because I have a bad habit of just licking my lips without just giving them what they want, which is something, and my glasses are dirty. Back to New York. So they have this extremely tall building, and there was a big Nike sign outside of the building. So we realized this 4-story, well, it's probably more than 4-story Nike building, and we're up there, you know, on Snap, you know, like, wow, look at all this stuff, like, it's so cool, it's so tall, there's so many floors, beautiful store. So we go down the little escalator. Had 100% absolutely no idea that we were in Trump Towers. So the Nike store is like right here. Trump Towers is right here. There were only 2 ways out of the building. You could go left or you could go right. We did not know that it was Trump Towers on the right until we tried to get up out of there. So there was a sign, right, and by this point in New York, we learned really quickly that you can be searched for anything, whenever, wherever, by an officer. So at that point, we were like, okay, I saw the sign, I had my purse, that was all we had. I just had my purse, he didn't have anything, and I saw the sign that said bags subject to search. I'm like, okay, cool, they're gonna have to search my bag, whatever. So we're walking out, and I see the sign, I see the scanner, the little metal detector thing. I'm like, okay, I'm prepared to go through it. It doesn't bother me. I don't have anything, you know, whatever. It's not a big deal. I see the sign, you know, I'm not going to be a rebel and say, no, you can't check my bags. So we're walking, and there's this white guy, kind of buff white guy, and he's like, ma'am, your bags. And he pushes me. And he pushes me so hard to the point where I turned and gave him the meanest mean mug, because I'm like, wait a minute, did he really just pushed me so hard that I was really about to turn around and swing and hit him. And at the time, we didn't know that I was pregnant. So my hormones are through the roof, and I guess my body went into mommy mode. You know, it's like, don't put your hands on me. So I slammed my purse down on the little scanner thing, and I'm pissed. And Sammy he sees that in my face, and so we're getting ready to walk off. He was like, did he really push you? And I was like, yeah, he pushed me. He pushed me so hard that I was about to turn around and, you know, push him back. So we're walking out, and I'm like, no, I'm about to go back and say something. So it's like a squad of these security officers or whatever. I mean, they're everywhere. So I walk up to them, my little stuff, I walk up to them, and I said, I need to speak to a manager. And one of the bold men spoke up, and he was like, well, you know, maybe one of us can help you with something. So I looked directly at the man who pushed me, and I said, well, this man right here just put his hands on me, and I don't appreciate it. And to my surprise, he took up for him. And he was like, well, ma'am, maybe he was just guiding you. And I said, you can guide me with your mouth, but you don't put your hands on a woman. And I shouldn't be the one telling you not to put your hands on a woman. So at this point, we're going back and forth. I mean, I'm pissed. I am pissed. And my fiance gets in it, of course, and then they're going back and forth, and then they ask us to leave, and I'm pissed off, literally about to knock all of them out. I don't know where that rush of adrenaline came from, but we were just gonna have to go at it at that point, like man or not, because you don't put your hands on me. And so Sammy like picks me up, and he's like, just come on, let's just go, because I was pissed. I can't think of the last time that I've ever been that pissed off, but they did it, and they were gonna get it from me that day. So it was just like, wow, this racism actually exists. Because as we're going back and forth, the same man who pushed me, trying to guide me, I kid you not, A white woman walked right by in front of us, and he politely said, "Ma'am, can you put your bag on the scanner?" And so me and my fiance are like, "Oh, okay, so you're not gonna push her, you're not gonna put your hands on her, but you just pushed me, and yet you're trying to sit here and say that it doesn't have anything to do with racism." Oh, we were pissed. Trump Towers was about to know my name that day, because I'm like, that's just unacceptable. It's rude, like very arrogant. You wouldn't get by with something like that where I'm from. Like, I don't care what reputation New York has, but we know better than that from down south. So again, that just goes to show that that's just more about, that's what they're used to, that's their culture. It's Trump Towers. I had no idea that we were even in Trump Towers. Had I known that, we wouldn't have even went into the Nike store. Like, whoa moment of the whole entire vacation, because it's like, this really did happen. Like, everything that you see on TV and on the news, like, it actually happened, and I actually experienced it. And I hate getting that upset. I'm not an angry person. I'm always most of the time I'm very happy. I don't like confrontation, I don't like arguing, but that day, all of that went out of the window. I was like, look, somebody over here just gonna have to fight me today. Like, that's how angry I was, because we really live in a generation now, and our world has seriously gotten to the point where things like that are okay, and no one will listen to me. I'm the victim, but no one will listen to me. So it was just a real big, like, slap in the face. Definitely a slap in the face.